What's going on, everybody? Right now I'm here in New York City, and one thing that really draws me to the city as an American is the possibility of only using public transportation to get around and not needing a car to get everywhere. This is especially important to me because I spent the last year living in Prague, Czech Republic, and the transportation there is absolutely amazing. So in this video, I'm going to compare the two, see what it's like using transportation in Prague and what it's like using it here in New York. And to do that, I'm going to take you back to a few weeks ago. So today I'm here on the streets of Prague, Czech Republic, and one of the biggest benefits to living in the city is that it has one of the best public transportation systems in the entire world. And one of the first things people consider when talking about transportation is how much does it cost? And honestly, my American viewers might be surprised to hear this, but I paid the equivalent of $156 not for a month, but for an entire year of transportation here in Prague. And included in that cost is unlimited rides on all three forms of transportation here, which is the metros, the trams, and the buses. So one of the things I love most about Prague is that it's a hop on, hop off system. So you don't have to tap in or out every time you want to get on. It's super easy and convenient. But allow me to explain a little bit more. So we're at a metro station right now, and you can see here there's actually no physical gates blocking you from going on. So every time you want to use it, you don't have to tap your credit card or tap a metro card or anything like that. You can just walk on, easy, no hassle. So then you might be wondering how they know if you've actually paid to use the transportation, and occasionally people will come around on the metros, the trams, and the buses, and they'll check everyone's tickets. And if you don't have one, they'll fine you the equivalent of like 40 or 45 US dollars. So maybe you get away with it and they don't check your ticket that day, but often you will get a fine for it. So there are two different options to use the transportation system here, and one of them is to get the tickets on your phone through the PID app. It's the transportation app here, and it's really good. You can get a single pass, a month pass, or the year one like I did, or you can use these physical ticket booths, buy a single ticket, and then validate it before you go in. And when you do have a ticket, you'll just validate it at one of these things here, and then you can walk through it. And the metros come very often, and they're super efficient and easy to use as well. And here's what the ticket machine looks like on one of the trams. So I'm on a tram right now, and one really great thing about it as well is that it's generally very safe and very clean. All right, everyone, so the last thing I'll talk about in the Prague section of this video is efficiency. So basically, if a tram says that it's coming at, I don't know, 1:47, it almost always arrives at exactly 1:47. There's rarely delays. And that's one of the best things about it is you can check your phone, find out when a tram's coming, and know exactly when it's going to arrive. All right, and with that, I will see you in New York. All right, and welcome back here to New York. So the first thing you should know about the subway system here in New York is that it's much more extensive than Prague, obviously because there's way more people to move around. It's a bigger city. So there's about 36 different subway lines, and there's also tons of bus lines and other rail lines coming into the city. So it's really extensive, and sometimes it's a bit confusing, but I think that it's pretty efficient and easy to use once you get the hang of it. So I'm gonna head to a metro station right now and show you what it's like. And while I'm walking there, I will start by talking about price. So when you want to use the metro here, every single time you use a one-way ticket, it costs $2.90. So if you're averaging it out, you go to work there and back 5 days a week, it would be about $29, $30 just for those rides during the week. But there is not a yearly pass like in Prague, but there's a monthly pass. If you wanted to use unlimited rides for a month, it would be about $130 US for the whole month. And obviously that's way worse because in Prague it was 156, but you do have to keep in mind, 156 for the year. But you do have to keep in mind that the salaries are much lower in Prague than in New York. So maybe someone in New York can afford $130 a month, where in Prague that probably wouldn't be the case. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the price. But one thing that is really cool here is that you never actually have to buy a ticket or have a Metro card. It's all based on your own personal credit card or debit card or Apple Pay. So you just scan the machine and it'll let you through. And it does track what you're using to pay for it as well. So if that card is tracked using it, I think 12 times in a week, every ride after that is actually free. So it's kind of a cool system. You don't have to worry always about buying individual tickets or doing anything like that. And I'm actually doing this video way up here in the Heights in the Northwest Manhattan. And this is a really cool subway station, and I'm going to head down more towards the city center, show you what the subway is like. Check this out. This is my own personal card that I used to pay. Didn't work. All right, there we go. And one thing the subway does kind of get mocked for here is that it's kind of old and not the cleanest place. So like it's very old, a little bit run down. You can see here there's stuff on the walls and there's like crap on the train tracks in general. You'll see rats sometimes, but generally it's pretty safe in my opinion. I've never really had many problems. There's some high profile cases, but overall I feel like it's safe and efficient to use, just a little bit dingy. And let me speak a little bit more to the safety aspect. Yes, there have been cases of crime and violent crime on the metro, but millions of people use this every single day, and I always see kids using it on their own and everything. I think it's genuinely very safe, and you can't let the few incidents that do happen really impact your view of it all. But Prague is safer because Prague is one of the safest cities in the world, and I've never even once heard of anything bad happening there. But here there are some instances. Just be aware of your surroundings and you'll be totally fine. But I will say it's efficient, but definitely not as efficient as Prague. I've been waiting here for about 10 to 11 minutes now, and no train has come. I don't know when it's going to be coming because it's not on the sign over there. So I don't know exactly what's happening right now, but there are more delays and it is a bit slower. All right, here it comes. Let me show you what it's like. Hop on here on the A train.
A local train. The next stop is
pretty clean.
181st Street.
But it's not always super quiet like the station I was just coming from. Sometimes it's a bit busier. I'll show you what that's like as well. This is the 59th Street station. And this also shows that there can be some confusion because I just came from downstairs where there's trains going, but now there's also upstairs trains and there's a lot of lines. So you have to know where you're going or research it beforehand, because if you don't know how to do it, it can be overwhelming. But in one area where New York is definitely better than Prague is that this runs 24/7. So any time of day, any time of week, you can always get a train. It might be a little bit reduced service, but it is available all the time. All right, so I'm gonna end this video here. In all honesty, you probably can't really compare the New York and the Prague metros because New York's is way more extensive, has so many more people to transport every day. But that's my life. I've lived in both cities, so I want to compare them. And honestly, Prague's is better. It's one of the best in the world for many reasons. But don't sleep on New York's. I think it's definitely getting better and better, and they're doing a lot of things to help it improve. So I think either way, in both cities, you can live there and use only transportation, not have to have a car to get around. And that's the main key thing that I'm looking for. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.